Okay, so we're going to switch over to a little pop culture. We'll have some fun here with the last question.
You're asking the guy who doesn't think there's ever been a good movie made in color about pop culture. Okay.
You know what? I'm a huge cinephile, man. So that would be an interesting conversation to have. I'd love to have it someday. We'll definitely get you back for another one of
Okay.
these, and we can talk cinema. But because that's a statement. That's quite a statement, my friend. Kanye West, now that he's in the mix, despite his controversies regarding his anti-Semitic remarks and other issues, he seems to be serious about putting up a competitive campaign for the White House, at least more so than that failed write-in attempt in 2020. Do you think Kanye is going to impact the course of the presidential election overall, or is this just like a sideshow circus that we're all going to forget about in 6 months to a year?
I think it is a sideshow circus that ought to be treated with more severity than it will be. I am a big fan of Dave Chappelle. I think he is tremendously subversive and to progressives, very dangerous. I am under no illusions that he is some kind of closeted free market, Hayek reading, Jefferson worshiping, high-minded principled Burkean or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he's very subversive. And when you watch that SNL opening from a couple of weeks ago, where he talked about Ye and what he had said, it came down kind of to, it's okay to think it, it's not okay to say it. I'm not endorsing that view. I'm simply pointing out that he's speaking from a place that is not necessarily familiar to me. But anti-Semitism is a major problem in the Democratic Party now. It is as big or bigger than the alleged racism issue is for Republicans. I don't knowingly truck with Republicans that I know to discriminate against people because of their skin color or for any other reason. You're allowed to dislike somebody, but generally that's because of behaviors, not because of characteristics that generally are not or cannot be changed. It's the anti-Semitism in the Democratic Party is allowed to go on without anybody paying attention to it. Nobody wants to call attention to it. I think because they don't want to start a fight within the Democratic nominating and funder coalition. But if you listen to urban call-in black radio, if you keep your ear to the ground, lots of anti-Jewish comments, lots of anti-Asian comments, that I think should be denounced and are reprehensible. You even hear statements like that coming from Joe Biden sometimes.
Yeah.
You remember how, and Hillary Clinton, who talked about I think it was Hillary Clinton who talked about the 7-Eleven owners in New Jersey, or that may have been Biden too. Biden used to run with the guys with the white pointy hats in Delaware who didn't want busing when he started his political career. People have let him get away with that, and I'm willing to believe that people can change their minds and grow up and say, oh, that was dumb of me to I believe that no one is beyond redemption.
Sure.
For sin. But the Democrats, at some point, they're going to have to confront the problem of anti-Semitism, and that's why I think that a Ye presidential run, is it Ye or Ye at this point?
Yeah, I'm just using Kanye West because I can't keep up. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't. I
think it's.
I like the name my parents gave me. I like the gender God made me. I like, I'm not busy trying to change any of that stuff. There are people out there who are.
Well, let's face it. Prince did this a long time ago, and he did it much better and much more interesting. So
Uh, yeah, but
The symbol.
that was about contracts and money, and I
That's right.
understand that.
Yeah, me
That
too.
I understand. Some of this other stuff I don't. Why Puffy has to be P Diddy, has to be something else.
Exactly.
I don't, and I don't even know if anybody even cares about him anymore. I know why Bernie Schwartz became Tony Curtis, but it isn't clear to me exactly why the anti-Semitism isn't more of an issue,
Yeah.
particularly among the funders of the Democratic Party. And I'm not saying that all rich Jews are Democrats. I'm just saying that there are a number of wealthy Jewish Americans
Yeah.
who are strong, vocal Democrats. You see them on Wall Street. You see them in the entertainment industry. You see them running their own businesses. And why they're not more vocal about it? Because it's disgusting. It's as disgusting as anything that the neo-Nazis or the say about black people or about Hispanics or about Asians. It's vile. It's disgusting. It's anti-American. It needs to stop. But
they're not ready to confront that yet, I don't think.
What is it from scripture about the confronting the log in your own eye before helping your neighbor take the cinder out of his or hers? And so I would hope that if he actually does mount some kind of a real run for president, that people will pay serious attention to what he's saying, and that if he runs as a Democrat, other Democrats will be asked what they think about what he's saying, because that's the other place. And this goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago about Reverend Warnock. Three women have come forward and said Herschel Walker paid for their abortions. Two women, however many. Nobody has asked Reverend Warnock about this. But when the guy who's running for Senate in Missouri used the phrase "real rape" in a radio debate or a radio interview, other Republicans running for U.S. Senate were asked about it, and the ones who gave dumb answers got beaten in the general election. They didn't say it, but they were asked their opinions, and if they didn't have an articulate answer, they got kneecapped. Mm-hmm. Well, it's about time that somebody started asking Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and Hakeem Jeffries, and Joe Biden about the dumb things that Ilhan Omar and
Rashida Tlaib,
Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, some of the other figures on the far progressive fringe of the Democratic Party say about Republicans and about people of different races and genders, because everybody has the capacity to say something stupid. Many of them do, including me. Most of them get away with it, but not if you're a conservative Republican running for office.
Yeah, it's been that way my entire life. You're talking about Reagan. That's the guy I grew up with. So I'm a bicentennial baby. And the press has never been fair to Republicans. I watch old Carson, and Johnny really lights into Reagan quite a bit, especially in that first term. After 84, it's a little different because you can see his popularity. But Johnny was always playful. He was never mean. But it's always been, the doddering old idiot fool, bedtime for Bonzo. And I knew it was going to be that way under Trump, only worse. And it's just the political environment. So